Hi, this is Kevin Stewart, Build 250. I'm Kev, and this is stage 16 of Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Okay, so stage 16, I don't know why I keep on putting in the magazine because it's exactly the same magazine as we had in the last issue, because we're getting obviously this one magazine for 4 issues. But the stage 16 looks like it's front suspension parts, but steering. We're also going to be mounting the engine, so it's quite an exciting part of the build. It is coming together quite quickly, to be fair. This is only what, stage 16, as I say, and it's actually, yeah, it's coming together. It's looking quite impressive, and it's going together fairly well as well. But hey, let's get into it. Let's get into the build for stage 16. Okay, so parts laid out for stage 16 this time, and as it says, it is all suspension parts and steering parts. Checked it all off and it's all there. So let's get into the build for stage 16. We've already seen the magazine because it was the same magazine that we had for the last issue. So yeah, let's get into the build. Okay, so bringing over the part from the last issue. One thing I forgot on the last issue that I remember, there was a lot of metal screws, and there's a lot more metal screws on this one. I forgot to use the oil, probably why some of the screws were tough to go in, so I've got a bit of the oil again. I'm going to try the oil method for helping these metal screws go in. So the first part it's asking us to do is to fit some parts to the stabilizer bar. So this is the stabilizer bar. It's plastic, and it's asking us to fit these parts, these little parts to the stabilizer bar using BP screws. Stabilizer bar and some BP screws. Now fitted to the stabilizer bar, screws, and then it's bringing this across the chassis with the suspension, and it's going to fit into that position there. Using BP screws again. So the stabilizer bar just fitting underneath in that orientation. Stabilizer bar fitted, and then that's going to be fitted in with these 2 mounting brackets. Okay, and they are handed, and they have got key pins which are going to have to go on. Now these are metal screws, BM screws, 4 BM screws, going to fit those in. Pound of oil. Did this help? But it did help last time, to be honest with you. Putting some oil onto the metal screws really did help them go in. And it does this time as well. It's definitely a top tip. Using a dab of just thin oil. Pop any excess oil and it's nicely in. Next part is assembling the steer arms. So the idler arm, the extended part, the idler arm bracket. So the idler arm bracket goes that way around, and the idler arm goes through that. Right, so you have that at that angle, I don't know if there's a keyway or anything, I don't think there is. It just goes in like that. And then fitted together with a KM screw. I think that's going to have to move anyway. Here's part of the steering linkage. Looks like we're turning the chassis over. And taking the flat square part of the bracket that we just had, and we're going to attach that onto that part there. There's that part just there. And idler arm is going to go on to that and be attached with an LM screw. We'll flip it back over. And it's going to fit on top of that. So there's an arm there, obviously the steering rack, and the idler arm just fits into one of the pins. Just fits into that pin there. Using a DM screw. Yeah, as I say, I don't think that's going to have to move. I think I'm going to loosen that slightly. So it can actually, yeah, I wouldn't tighten that up. If you tighten it up too much, then it won't move, so that needs to go off. I think it needs to move. Just going to turn in the chassis over and fit in the steering pinion. This is the pinion base, and that has to fit into the chassis. Looking at how that's seen in the magazine, so that's that way around. Pinion base is going to be that way around. And it's kind of going to fit on in that orientation there. So in that orientation there, as it shows. And fitted in with a DM screw at the front and an LM screw at the back. So I'll fit the LM first. Pinion base in. Push the steering pinion. Steering pinion. Pinion gear on top. Push that through. Turn the chassis over. And then you're going to take the arm, this part. And, attach that from the pinion. It actually has a D shape, and that was replicated on the pinion. And so D shape, so you've got to match those up. And fitting that to the steering rack using 2 DM screws. Once again, I don't think I'm going to tighten these up. You definitely going to tighten that one up too much because it needs to move. Steering. All that kind of needs to move. Yeah. I'm going to add the steering column. Obviously, a long part. Steering column has a flat. Let's see, but it has a flat part. Obviously, a pinion end. So turning that over. And it's going to fit on, so it's going to rest onto this. So it's actually going to, obviously the gears have got a mesh. And it's going to rest on that. with that it says the flat part pointing downwards, so that flat part pointing downwards. And then we're going to fit on pinion housing, the steering column housing. Hold it all in. And we're going to fit that in with, on the inside, 2 DM screws, on the outside 2 NN screws. I'm going to do the DM screw first. So the DM screws go on the inside. One in here first. And we've got MM screws on the outside. So DM screw there first, and then an MM screw. I'm assuming that's the steering. Okay, seems to work. Cool. Okay, so finally, and now the main part of this, the exciting part if you like, we're going to be fitting or mounting the engine to the chassis. I'm going to be extra careful with this. It's basically saying to place the engine with a fan, obviously pointing forwards. We've got 2 engine mounts, they're going to go into those holes, and a gearbox mount that's going to go into the front part. Carefully. It all kind of slides in nicely. Now turning it over and attaching it with 2 IM screws. So this is going to be the tricky part, obviously, because you don't want to damage the engine. And rest it on the air filter best I can. And there's 2 holes, I guess, where the engine mounts are, and there they are. There's 2 just there. I'm not applying pressure, so I don't really want to. What I'll do is I'll probably get these in and then tighten them up, but I'm not pushing down on the engine at all. So they're 2 IM screws, so an LM screw then for the gearbox mount. I'm just going to tighten these up now. Trying not to apply pressure that I don't need to. Yeah, that's on, mounted. Happy with that. So that's the engine mounted onto the frame, to the chassis. Looking quite impressive. Quite heavy actually. Just picked it up, it's quite heavy. Okay. So just going to fit the power steering hoses. I'll get my tweezers for this. Power steering hose is just going to go from there on the part that we just fitted, steering pinion housing to the actual steering pump. Power steering hoses on. And I'm finally going to put the left front wheel on. So this is from issue 4, and the hubcap. And quite simply just going to go onto the left hand side. Chassis. Hubcap then goes on, it just snapped on. Right, obviously you have got the valve and the valve hole. So match those up. Match up the valve and valve hole, and then it says attach it with a LM screw. Now the DeLorean, these were a pain, these didn't go in very well and were very wobbly. I hope we sorted it out on this particular model. Now obviously the brake drum doesn't move, so I guess if you want the wheel to move, you've got to leave that slightly loose. Because if you tighten it all the way up, it depends if you want the tyre to turn, I guess. If you turn it all the way up, and the tyre don't turn. And it then tells you to put in the hubcap, or the hubcap, the screw cover, I'm going to call it. So put that in there. Right, I'm not putting that in, I'm going to leave it off because I need to make a decision on whether I'm going to tighten that up, and then the tyre obviously won't move, the wheel won't move, or if I'm going to leave it, I'm going to back it off a couple of threads. Or a thread, and then obviously the tyre will turn, but it might be wobbly again. Okay, I'll probably tighten it up for now. I'll tighten it up for now and then make a decision later. But yeah, okay. Stage 16. Done. So that was stage 16, yeah, really impressive. It's really coming together nicely, isn't it? It's quite impressive now seeing that the engine's now mounted onto the chassis. And that's only the front part. This model's going to be huge. But hey, so I've obviously got 2 stages left of this subscribers pack, got stages 17 and 18. So I'm going to be getting them kind of videoed and uploaded probably within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for them. But yeah, but thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope to catch you again on the channel soon. Stay safe and ta-da for now.